currency. And we have on seriousness of opposition parties won't allow Nigerians replace Tinubu in 2027, Salihu Lukman says. All right, well, let's get into the conversation already. Well, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, informed the NATI Chairman and CEO on his visit to the agency. The federal government has revealed that the Steve Oronsoye report aimed at reducing the size and cost of government has yet to be implemented. Femi Gbajabiamila, President Bola Tinubu's Chief of Staff, confirmed this on Tuesday, saying he could not provide an exact timeline for implementation. Gbajabiamila, during his visit to the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NATI headquarters in Abuja, disclosed that federal government is working out all necessary modalities to ensure a smooth run of the policy when it is implemented. He noted the need for thoroughness before implementing the report, saying anything worth doing is worth doing properly. All right, Mr. Anosike, this is what the President's Chief of Staff had to say. Well, what is your take on that?
Well, that simply shows that the President is not ready to cut the cost of governance. That's what it simply shows, that the Presidency is not ready to cut the cost of governance. Because this is the first thing that Tinubu will have done when he assumed office in 2023. When you know that you are running a deficit, when you know that the previous government engaged in squandermania, when you know that the previous government did not grow the economy, the wisest thing to do is to cut the cost of governance, reverse the things that Buhari did, checkmate Buhari's wastefulness. And what will have helped him to do that is implementation of the Orosanya report. But instead of doing that, Tinubu, as he said, continued the wastefulness of the administration that he inherited. Because constitutionally, what we need to have is just 36 ministers. That's one minister from each of the states. But upon there's no money in the country, Tinubu has 48 ministers. And later created another one, making it 49. So it is the report that will have helped him to streamline, because most of the MDAs engage in duplication of functions. Because if you check, EFCC and ICPC are doing basically the same thing.
Okay.
So why have these two ministries or two agencies that are doing the same thing? But because this is a government of come and chop, they don't want to streamline the ministries. And that's why we are where we are at this point in time. Because if the Orosanya report that is implemented, over 50% of the government expenses will be cut down. Because most of the MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies are not viable. Some are duplication of duties. But when you streamline them, you reduce a lot of cost. But Nigeria politics is just for people who help you to rig an election, who help you to get into office, who help you to do one malpractice and other, you reward them. And that's why we are having this bogus ministries that is affecting the country. And even apart from doing that, government is also engaging in other wastefulness, like the 160 million naira for the SUVs. Understand me? The 100 million naira presidential jet, the 1.5 billion naira escalade. All these are wasteful spendings because when an economy is not doing well, any reasonable person should do is to become frugal. Start to cut cost. And that's what Orosanya report will have helped to do.
Well, the chief of staff said they are working on it. According to him, he said Orosanya's report is being worked upon. Yes, we've been talking about this for months now, but anything worth doing is worth doing properly. Or this is what he had to say. So it's not like they're not doing it, but they want. I think they want to launch this report. According to the chief of staff, they want to launch this report in a very good way that would help, with policy reforms and many more. So what do you have to say about that?
Tinubu has spent over 35% of his administration. He has only 4 years till the next election, and this is 1.5 years. So, and you don't have any timeline at this point in time. So, is it in your third year or that you are going to bring it? But even Tinubu as a person doesn't believe in cutting costs. Tinubu as a person does not believe in being frugal. Tinubu as a person does not believe in being prudent. So saying that they are waiting for the right time, the only right time anywhere in the world is now. The right time everywhere is now. So saying that you are waiting, you are working on it, it's just that they don't have that political way to implement it. Because if it is implemented, some of their political appointees will have no job. And these are professional politicians. We call them billionaires without enterprise. They are billionaires, but they don't have any visible business anywhere. So when you implement Orosanya report, some of their political appointees will go, and they're just keeping them for the next election. So basically, I'm not seeing him implementing the report, and even if it's been, because you cannot be talking of Orosanya reports while you are still creating ministries and agencies. So for me, it doesn't make sense. There's no political will to drive Nigeria in the right direction with what I'm seeing so far.
All right. Well, let's get to our next conversation. A former presidential spokesperson, Dr. Doyin Okupe, says the present economic indicators show that the nation's economy is beginning to make a recovery and an obvious turnaround is now clearly observable. Okupe, a former Director General of Peter Obi Presidential Campaign Organization, made this remark in an interview on Thursday in Lagos. He was reacting to the criticism of President Bola Tinubu by Afenifere, a pan-Yoruba socio-cultural group, over the socio-economic challenges in the country. VOP reports that Afenifere had on Wednesday expressed concern over what it described as the near collapse of the economy. Well, Mr. Anosike Doyin Okupe is saying that it's obvious that the economy is having a turnaround, and it's clearly that we're beginning to make a recovery with the economy. Is that the same for you?
Ken, I want to throw that question back to you.
Okay.
How is the economy making a recovery? Is it from the prices of things in the market or where? How is it making a recovery? Because today there's queues in most of the filling stations.
Very, very, very true.
There's increase in transport fares arising from the scarcity of fuel. Understand? Prices of food in the market have not come down. So where is that economic recovery? Doyin Okupe is one of those praise singers. One of those where they call them benefits. Understand? He's in the same category with Reno Omokri, Femi Fani Kayode. Any government in power, no ideology, no principle. So Doyin Okupe will be ready to praise the Satan himself, provided that something is getting to his pocket. So if the economy is making a recovery, Afenifere are not suffering from the diarrhea of the
Mouth.
mouth. So there's no way
mean-
they can be criticizing the government. Nigeria is going from bad to worse. Where we are right now is worse than where we were 2-3 months ago. When you check that the prices of things in the market, nothing has changed since Tinubu came into office. At least Tinubu's 1 year has become that the worst in any of the presidents of this country.
Mr. Anosike, many of these critics and analysts, people that come out to speak on behalf of situations happening in the country, just like former presidential spokesperson Donyo Kope, they tend to tell us so much. Even spokesperson of the president, they tend to tell us so much without giving us statistics, without giving us an evidence. If you're saying the economy is having a recovery and there's a turnaround, where? With what? We don't get to see the statistics. We don't get it because when MBS is showing us the inflation for the past month, it's saying something else. Meanwhile, these people are saying something else. Why don't they ever give us statistics?
Well, because there's none to give. Even if they want to give, it's fabricated. Because these are praise singers, jobbers. They don't have office anywhere except politics. Daniel Bawanda and others. Now, we measure the achievement of government by looking at the quality of life of the citizens. We measure the achievement of government by looking at the standard of living of the people. Most Nigerians are going to bed without food. Most Nigerians, now school is resuming on September. A lot of parents will not be able to send their children to school because they have not even a feed. And a lot of schools, because of the high cost of things in the country. So a lot of children will not resume school in September. And these people are saying that the economy is experiencing a turnaround in their own pockets because they are getting money from from the presidency. Government is about all the people, and government is about the happiness of the greater number of people in a given space, because there's no way everybody will be happy in a community, in a state, in a country. So what a good government measures is the happiness of the greater number of people. So, and when that is not happening, then there's no government. Because now insecurity is becoming worse. Cost of food is becoming worse. Scarcity of fuel, that's a high electricity.
Unemployment,
understand me? Companies are still, now PZ declared billions of, everybody knows PZ. PZ is about to fold up because they are no more making profit. And when PZ fold up, imagine the number of people that will be thrown into the unemployment. So for me, Okube is saying what he's supposed to. Okube is among the billionaires without enterprise. These people, I always ask them, Monday morning, do they have any office where they go to? None. So their interest is what they will get that's from the government by fabricating things that are not there, by imagining things that are not there, just to make all the presidency happy. As I said, where we were in May is worse than where we were now. And if things continue this way, where we'll be in September, October will be worse than where we are at this point in time. Because NNPCL is saying that they now want to transfer the Warri refinery and Kaduna refinery to contractors, private owners. After spending 200 billion on maintenance in 2 years. So if government cannot maintain the refinery with all the money that they have. So it is now private operators that are going to do it. This shows you that this government has lost the direction.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next conversation, where South Africa has gone 150 consecutive days without any planned power outages. The milestone marks a dramatic turnaround from over a year ago when South Africa was plagued by persistent and record load shedding that disrupted daily life, inflated food prices, and eroded investor confidence. Well, this is the situation currently happening in South Africa, Mr. Anosike. 150 consecutive days. Well, I don't think we can.
That is 6 months.
Yes.
6 months of no power outage.
Yes.
And mind you, South Africa got their independence in 1994.
Yes.
That was when Nelson Mandela.
That was the Freedom Day. Yes, it's called Freedom Day.
Become president. 1994, just a few years back. Nigeria got its own 1960. Understand? And we have never celebrated 24 hours of no power outage anywhere in the country. Understand me? We have not celebrated the 24 hours of no power outage anywhere in the country.
I mean, instead, we're dealing with the electricity tariff hike at the moment.
A lot of Nigerians are living in darkness. Imagine there's no appetite in Nigeria. They come with their A, B, C, D, E, band A, band B, band C. That's using their hand to segregate Nigerians. Some people will be getting 20 hours a day. Some people will be getting 4 hours a day in the same country. In the same country, which means they have turned to Nigeria to animal farm. Understand? Where some animals are more equal than the others. That's why some people will get 20 hours on paper. Others will get 4 hours.
Mr. Anosike, let me ask you, how many hours in a day do you observe light in your area?
I have never I don't even know whether I'm in band D or band E. I don't know. It's when I see, I quickly iron because I don't know the next time I will see it. Understand me?
Yeah.
So once the sign comes, I wake up just try and make the best use of it because you don't know that the next time it will come.
I mean, we don't have light. We don't have power. We also do not have fuel. How do we go about it in the country?
Well, some people are talking about when I hear some Nigeria telling somebody, go to hell, go to hell. You're already in hell in Nigeria. Understand me? We already in hell in Nigeria. Hell cannot be worse than this country.
Hell, Mr. Anosike, that is a strong word.
Hell cannot be. So when you tell somebody, go to hell, where is hell? Nigerians are in hell.
Oh, Mr. Anosike, please retract the statement.
Retract that.
We're in hell? That is quite strong.
Have you been to hell?
That is quite strong. I mean,
the hell that you have been in is this Nigeria that you are in. South Africa is celebrating 6 months of no power outage. And Nigeria cannot celebrate 24 hours of no power outage. And you feel that you are in heaven. Even purgatory cannot be compared with what we are in. We are in hell. Some people now rush to the filling station by 4 a.m. That to queue up, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
So I feel that is heaven. When you spend 8 hours that's in the filling station, that's to buy fuel at an exorbitant rate. Nigerians are surviving in a very hard way. Nigerians are surviving in a very hard. So Nigerians should stop telling people go to hell because we are already in it. Under Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria was the biggest economy in South Africa, in Africa, under Goodluck Jonathan. But 9 years down the line, we are now fourth. and then getting to fifth, because Morocco very soon will take our position. Morocco very soon is going to take over our position. We are going that to fifth, if not sixth, because Kenya is also on the way. And what is it? It is a problem of what? Leadership. It is problem of leadership and nothing more. We have all it takes to be a great nation. Our population, Nigeria is the biggest market in Africa because of our population. Because market is about what? Numbers and purchasing power. So with our population, we are the biggest market in Africa. But government has not been able to turn our population into productivity. And you cannot do that when there's no electricity. You cannot do that when there's no electricity, because economy cannot grow where there's no power. Then our diversity is also a very big strength. Our diversity is also a very big strength, but we are not benefiting from our huge population. We are not benefiting from our diversity because of what? Bad leadership. So if South Africa can go for 6 months without a power outage, and Nigerians are claiming to be the giant of Africa, you see it. Something might be wrong with us. Understand? Because the indices are not there. The indices of a giant of Africa is not there. Imagine a giant that is going hungry. A giant without infrastructure. That is a giant.
Agriculture.
A giant where Ukraine, a country that has been in war for the past 2 years, is giving palliative. Understand?
Yeah.
We that are not in war are now accepting palliative from a country that is in war. All these are problem of bad leadership. So, and if you read that story very well, you see that it is only that magic came within 2 years of a change of administration in the ministry. Just only two people.
First electricity minister in March 2023. Yes.
And understand me?
Yes.
Just 2 years and they achieved that thing. But when Fashionda was a governor in Lagos State, he said any administration that cannot achieve a stable power supply within 6 months is irresponsible. That was what Fashionda said, because another person was in power. Goodluck Jonathan was in power. Because of that, Buhari made him the power minister. He was there for 4 years. And we are still having 4,000 megawatts. Fashionda couldn't grow 1 megawatt in 4 years. This megawatts was what we have under Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. So from Yar'Adua till now, we are still having the same thing. And we call ourselves a giant of Africa. Look, this 4,000 megawatts that we have cannot even give Lagos and Abuja constant power. No, Lagos and Ogun State constant power supply. Because what Lagos State need is about 2,700 megawatts. So minus 4,000, minus 2,700 from 4,000. It gives you 1,300. So this 1,300 is what will now be shared to other parts of the country, assuming you want to give Lagos State stable power supply. So this is the main reason why Dunlop, Michelin, and other companies are exiting Nigeria to our neighboring country, Accra, because in Ghana there they have stable power supply, and where there's stable power supply, cost of production will naturally come down. So the main reason why companies are exiting Nigeria, apart from the corruption of those in government, is because of lack of power supply.
All right. Let's move on to our next topic. Salihu Lukman, a former vice chair of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the Northwest, says the unserious disposition of opposition political parties may prevent Nigerians from replacing President Bola Tinubu in 2027. In a statement on Monday, Lukman said despite the deteriorating situation of the country, there are no clear efforts at mobilizing to change Tinubu at the next general election. The former Director General of Progressive Governors Forum, PGF, said the conversation for a change has been at best isolated and has not graduated to structured political engagement. Or Mr. Anostike, a former vice chair of the ruling party, APC, that Salihu Lukman is saying that the unserious disposition of opposition political parties will prevent Nigerians from replacing President Tinubu. I mean, he was once in the ruling party, and now he's out of the ruling party, and he's asking the opposition to do something and come up and be more, deliberate, be more verbose,
more intentional
with their, campaigning and coming out to stand against the ruling party in 2027. Well, what do you think the opposition is not? First of all, do you agree with Salihu Lukman on his statement?
I agree with him 100% because there's no seriousness on the part of the parties in opposition. Even some of those in the oppositions are working for Tinubu. Some of them in the opposition are working for the presidency. I'm aware of a governor who said that he's a PDP, that he's a APC governor in PDP. That he is a APC governor in PDP. Understand me? Which means even though he has the mandate of that's physically he is in PDP,
yes,
but mentally he is in APC.
Mentally or financially?
Mentally he is in APC, which means his heart is in APC, while his body is in PDP. So it is this enemies of Nigeria, because that's what that governor is. It is these enemies of Nigeria that will not allow the country to move forward. Because assuming that it is PDP that is wobbling as APC is wobbling at this point in time, I know what APC would have done being in the opposition. I know what they would have done being in the opposition. I know the kind of propaganda that Nai Mohammed would have been dishing out being in the opposition. So the parties in the opposition are not showing any seriousness at all to change this government. I don't know if they are afraid or they have compromised, but you cannot have the democracy without opposition. Anywhere in the world where there's democracy, there's always the opposition. Because opposition helps to put government on its toes. Opposition helps to to push out government from its comfort
Mr.
zone.
Honestly, we've seen the opposition, the likes of Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, speak on situations, especially with the economic crisis going on and be defiling the nation. We've seen them come out to speak. You remember the seized presidential jets? Atiku spoke very, very much on it. We've seen Peter Obi come out to speak concerning the hashtag End Bad Governance protest and many more. So what is it that they're not doing right?
There should be cohesion, there should be mobilization. They should be mobilizing. Understand me? They should be mobilizing their members. They should be sensitizing their members. Because for PDP to be shoved aside in 2015, ACN, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then CPC, led by Muhammadu Buhari, ANPP, led by Ibrahim Shakarau, former governor of Kano State, and a faction of ABGA, led by Rochas Okorocha, and then that's what they call new PDP, then led by Atiku. All these people came together to form APC. And that's why they were able to push out PDP, because there's a saying that a people united can never be defeated. So unless the parties in opposition unite, they cannot beat APC. So that's what Salihu Lukman is saying, that these people in opposition are not coming together. Understand? Because if they go it as separate parties, they are going to share their own votes. They are going to divide their own votes. So the best thing for them to do is to come together as one.
Well, do you think that is going to be possible? Because we see crisis going on in the Labour Party, like you said.
In all the parties.
Yes, like all the parties at the moment, I agree.
In all the parties.
NNPP, the PDP as well, and Labour Party. So you're suggesting cohesion and unity to come around and do better in 2027?
Well, they should come around if they really feel that Nigerians are suffering. Because this should be a wake-up call. We must come together to stop Nigeria from falling apart. Because the opposition coming together now, to me, I'm seeing it as a national call. As a call to save Nigeria. Because that is the only thing that they can do. And again, the advantage of the opposition political parties coming together is it will wake APC up.
Well, I mean, this is very interesting because today, a former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, has alleged that some persons in opposition PDP, to be precise, are working for the president and the All Progressives Congress. So with all of these infiltrations and with this, backstabbing and leaving your party working for another party, like you mentioned earlier, how can they come around and solve their internal party crisis?
Well, that's why I say that those people are enemies of the country. Those people that will be PDP in the day and APC in the night are enemies of the country. It means that they have no soul, they have no integrity. Understand me? That is what it means. But before, I was saying that oppositions coming together will be in the best interest of the country because it will wake up APC. It will make them to realize that if they don't work hard to please other people, they will not win the next election. So it will send a very big message to them. It will wake them up to begin to do what the people want. But when there's no opposition, or the party in power will just be in its comfort zone because they are very sure of winning the next election. Sure, when there's no strong opposition, the party in power will relax and be doing whatever it wants. Assuming there's a very strong opposition, Tinubu will not have bought that presidential jet. Assuming there's a strong opposition, the ex-candidate that Tinubu bought, he would not have done it. But he feels that 2027 is there for him to have an easy win because the opposition are in disarray. So opposition is not necessarily to win an election, but to wake the government in power up to begin to care for the people. Understand me? It's not only to win an election, but to keep the government in power on their toes. In America, the Democrats will always want to work hard because they know that if they don't, the Republicans will take over. So once there's a strong opposition, the government in power will be forced to be doing the needful. This is the importance of having a strong opposition. It's not just to win an election, but it helps to keep government on their toes.
Mr. Isaac, for the APC, with situations we've seen internal party crisis happen with APC, but for some reason it looks like when it's getting near to elections, they know how to re-strategize, come together, and take over that upcoming election.
Well,
why isn't it like that for other parties?
APC is a party that was not formed for the interest of the people. APC is a party that is just like a gangster that come together. Their interest is to kill and share. Understand? So their ideology is what they will get, not what the people will get. That's why they will be in 2023. They're already talking about 2027 instead of talking about the welfare of the people, because APC was not formed to cater for the welfare of the people. So because of their personal interest, they know how to come together because of their personal interest, not because of the welfare of the people. And again, most of them have sold their soul to the devil. Most of them have sold their soul to the devil. So how the people are behaving doesn't concern them. That people are going to bed does not concern them. Rather, it is benefiting them. So that at the end of when the election come, they will share 5,000. They will buy up people's vote and win. That's why Ganduje is talking about capturing
the southeast,
capturing Edo, capturing Ondo, capturing that's Anambra. Understand? You are not a military officer. You are not in war, and you are using that word capturing.
Is that statement democratic?
APC is not for democracy. APC is not for APC is to kill and share, grab and share. Understand me? That's what APC stands. And Ganduje is using that the right word, capture and share. We are going to capture Edo. We are going to capture Ondo. Next year we'll capture Anambra. We'll capture the whole southeast. And you call yourself a democratic person and using this other word, capture. Understand me? But for him, talking about capturing. One, there's a difference between election and the politics. And that's what APC don't know. Election is far different from politics. And what APC is interested in is election. But politics is about the people. Understand me? Politics is about other people. So APC is only interested in the next election and not the well-being of the people. And that's why they not, upon that, they have produced over 80% of the leaders of this country remains the poorest, because their concern is election and not politics. Power and doing nothing with it. Understand me? Because politics is about the well-being of the people, how the people in a given community organize themselves, their well-being. But this is not their interest. That's why Ganduje is going about talking about where to capture and where not to capture. But as I keep on saying, it is only people who have suffering in their DNA that will vote for APC in any of the elections. Only those who God created to suffer, that will see what Nigerians are going through and still vote for APC.
Mr. Hanasike, are there specific strategies you can implore the opposition to use against going against the ruling party? Because right now, I mean, it looks like you said, every party is having just their own. What political strategy would you implore the opposition parties to use?
I say people united cannot be defeated. So if the oppositions can be united, there's nothing that...
Well, we saw that for the Labour Party in 2023. It felt like they were resonating with the people and what they were going through at the time.
But they still have their moves there. There were still APC in LP then, like Arabambi, Namidi, Apapa. These are moves be formidable enough, understand, to fight. You cannot fight when you are in pieces. Understand me? They need to be united to be able to people of integrity. Because I used that to tell people, maintain your dignity even in trying times.
I mean, I was going to say that.
Understand me? Maintain your dignity even in trying times. Somebody used to say, you can even be hungry and still reject food. Understand me? You can still be hungry and reject food. And that's integrity. If you can tell them, go to hell with your 5,000 naira, I'll vote my mind. Understand me? But they know that Nigerians are so docile. Understand? Nigerians, many of them have no ability in 2027. They will not have anything that to campaign with in 2027. But because people are gullible, people are tribalistic, you still see people who will want to, it's my town man. We speak the same language. We have the same religion, without knowing that when that guy gets there, he'll forget about you, and you begin that to beg for transport money that associated. That is why when all these things are going, that are happening, you keep on wondering, are Nigerians thinking at all? Understand? So when I hear Ganduje saying capture here, based on what? Based on what? What have you done? And that's even why he's using that word, capture. Because he has nothing to campaign. What is the antecedents of your party? What is the antecedents of your party? Today, what is the exchange rate? In 2015, what is the exchange rate? What is the price of food in the market today? What's the price of food in 2015? You cannot compare night and darkness. So for me, Nigeria should wake up.
Speaking of the capture statement by the APC chair, for some reason, this ruling party has confidence every time when it comes to election. And I think this confidence even gives the opposition, like, they don't give the opposition a stand when it comes to elections and when it comes to time for the people to vote. Where does this confidence come from?
One, confidence in one, because they feel that they have the electoral body INEC in their pocket. That's why they also feel that they have the judiciary in their pocket. That's why they will tell you to go to court. Understand? That's why they will confidently tell you to go to court. And because they know that when you go to court, you cannot get justice. They know that when you go to court, you cannot get.
You're talking about the APC.
APC.
So you're trying to say the judicial system as well has been infiltrated by the ruling party?
It's in their pocket. It is in their pocket as we speak. From 2015 till now, both the electoral body and the judiciary are in their pocket. So that's why even people are having doubts of coming out to vote. They will tell you whether you vote or you no vote. Understand? That they will still declare what they want to declare. But for me, I always say, go and do your own first and forget about the
But now
rest.
you spoke about Nigerians. Well, Nigerians have... You spoke about Nigerians and poverty and how they have weaponized poverty. When you see this situation, and now the situation is it's deteriorating, it's getting worse. So if they come up 2027 and use this vulnerability of the impoverished Nigerians, or don't you think this pattern will continue for some time?
Well, if they want it to continue, that's for them. Understand? But as you said, maintain your dignity even in time of challenges. Maintain your dignity even in trying times. Understand? I used that to tell people. Don't use because of challenges and do what you will not be proud of. Understand me? Don't use because of problems and do what you will not be proud of. Because of I'm having problems, that's why I did that, or understand me? So maintain your dignity. Say no to bad governance. Understand me? Say no to bad governance. Those holding power there are holding it on your behalf. They are holding it in trust for you. So you shouldn't be another Esau and send your birthright with because of a pot of, you still be hungry again. Those people that we are giving 5,000 to 2,000 2023, where are they now? Are they still eating that 5,000? So that is what I am appealing to Nigerians.
All right, we'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll be opening the phone lines so you could be part of the discussion and tell us your opinion on the issues and conversations that we have spoken about on Recap. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned. Recap will make a return.
Past to understand the present. So let's bring you up to speed on important moments in the polity that you might have forgotten.
Politics as normal have been suspended today.
Detailed review plus analysis of all the local.
Senate moves to recover 6 trillion naira ground rent from property owners. Page 5.
And foreign stories that made the headlines during the week.
President Putin accepts defeat. President Putin keeps on coming back for more.
All of the intrigues.
CSS confirmed interest loan in store in central government.
Tension.
The process through which people come into office is far more fundamental, more important than what they do now.
Suspense and political dramas.
This is a shining moment. I commend
The
INEC.
higgy haggers that took center stage just within the week.
You cannot criticize African countries for being undemocratic.
We will resist the interim government.
Join the conversation on The Recap every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. only on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Study the past if you want to define the future. You have to know the past to understand the present.
Welcome back to Recap here on 90.3 Voice of the People FM. We're still talking about major issues that made major headlines during the week. Well, we started off with the Arasaya report and we spoke about Okupe, Dr. Doyin Okupe replying to Ferris saying economic turnaround now observable. Of course, we also had South Africa marking 150 days without power cuts and boosts currency. And finally, on seriousness of opposition parties won't allow Nigerians replace Tinubu in 2027. Well, before we open up the phone lines, Mr. Anosike, do you have more you want to say concerning these topics that we had touched on earlier?
Yeah, that's on the issue of Orosanya. Orosanya is what will have helped to bring Nigeria out of the woods. Assuming we have a government that cares for the masses, because presidential system of government is very, very expensive. Presidential system of government is very, very expensive. So the only way that to go about is trying to cut the cost of governance, which, as I said earlier, the Orosanya report will have helped us to. But because these people care more about those who will help them to rig elections than the masses. That's the reason why the chief of staff told you that there's no time yet. No time yet for a government that is going to its second year, for a government that has only 4 years. Look, if you are in government by your 8th month, you must have drawn up everything that you are going to do in the remaining remaining months. And if you don't do that, you are going to struggle till the end. If you are in government, you fail to draw up all your policies, all your program within all the first 8 months, you are going to struggle till the end. That's why this government is, I call it a government of trial and error. That's what they will try this one and fail, try this and fail, because they are just interested in power, but not in governance. Their interest is in power, to hold power, but not to govern other people. Because if you want to govern other people, you think about the policies that will help the people. You think of the programs that will help other people. Because duplicating of ministries is just to favor one DG, understand me, and not the masses, understand me. And again, I have said earlier that Tinubu should go and learn from the president of Argentina, because Argentina economy was in a mess when their president came on board. But the first thing that he did was to sell off their presidential jets. He cut down on his cabinet by 50%. That's the number of people in his cabinet.
Yeah.
He cut it down by 50%, cut down the budget by 50%. And today, inflation has fallen down in Argentina. The country is now running smoothly.
All right, Mr. Anosike, it's 5 o'clock. We'll have to open up the phone lines now and also give way for the listeners to contribute on the discussions that we have been taking on the show. The phone line to call is 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Or you could send a message on WhatsApp stating your name, your location at 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. Well, that is our WhatsApp line. You could definitely send us a message telling us what you think about the discussions and topics that we've been discussing today. Also, you could call 0700 903 903 903. Well, we've got some messages on WhatsApp, Mr. Anosike. This one is coming from Egege from Agege. Says, good evening, VOP. My regards to you, Kayla. Esther, well, I'm Kayla, and the genius in the studio, Mr. Anosike. Nigeria as it is today is synonymous with hell. Well, this is not the opinion of the station. This is the opinion of Egege. It says,
and the Anosike too.
Oh, and okay, that is your opinion as well. Well, this is not the opinion of the station. We did not feel the same way. Do you know how many are dying on daily basis because of hunger and sicknesses? It's enormous. What surprises me most is a nation who is not ready for self-readjustment towards self-sufficiency, yet not doing all she could to retain foreign investors to boost her economy. Instead, foreign investors are being forced to quit the country to other less potential countries. It's a pity. Or this is an opinion from one of our listeners. We also have got another one. Well, we do not have your name and your location. Ensure to do that, please, when sending messages. Or this says, what are the opposition doing in the Senate or House of Rep? Even if they have lesser numbers, they're doing absolutely nothing to frustrate the APC. As long as they have burger stuffed in their mouth, hands and pockets, they say nothing. A lot of Nigerians came to earth to eat. That's why they are easily lured, and that's why they can easily sell their votes, because the only thing they think about is food, corruption, and corrupt behavior of the politicians would keep putting people in hunger and poverty. And some Nigerians wouldn't see the wrong behavior of the politicians as long as they get crumbs, as long as the person is their tribesman or woman. The tribalism fits them well. That is why they would keep having a malnourished mind that pushes them to keep making the wrong decisions during elections. Mr. Anosike, the talk of tribalism has become a very, very, very big one. It's very, very big right now. I would say lots of netizens, citizens, critics are complaining about tribalism. Even activists are coming out, the likes of Aisha Yusufu, speaking of tribalism and how it has started bedeviling the nation. Well, would you say that this administration fueled or assisted in fueling tribalism?
It is one of the weapons that the APC government used in 2015. So this continuation of the Buhari's administration. Understand? This is a continuation of the Buhari's administration. Tinubu said that he will continue with from where Buhari stopped. So Buhari thrived on it. Understand me? And that's what Tinubu continued on. Mind you, when Buhari came on board, he said that the people that gave him 5% cannot get what those that gave him 97% will get. Understand me? And he appointed, his cabinet was mostly Fundanese. Understand? His appointment were mostly Fundanese. So this is what Tinubu also continued. Tinubu's appointments were mostly Lagos boys, not even a Southwest. Tinubu just relocated Lagos to Abuja. Understand me? It's not even southwest. So this has been one of the reasons why we are where we are. Warren Buffett talked about second of competence. Competent people are not used in Nigeria, understand? But my tribesman, understand? So that's why we are where we are.
All right, this is from Dio. Dio just texting from Fagba on WhatsApp. Says, "Good evening, crew. There is a saying: when a purpose of a thing is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. Tell me, all the ministers that this government has appointed, which one has worked so far? This is what you get when you put square pegs in a round hole. Remember in Buhari's time, he had Adamu that wasted 8 years, that doesn't know about education. Now we have another one continuing in the legacy, saying children cannot do WAEC and NECO and not enter school until 18. Remember, in the same party, same mentality. Now they have destroyed education by reducing the cut-off marks, 140 JAMB and 100 for poly. Where is the standards of old? They increased school fees, no research. Check our university rating in the world. Are we not moving 100 years backwards? They have taken the children's bread and given it to the dogs, making the people's life so hard. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country." This is still from Dio from Fagba. Well, Dio had a lot to get off his chest, especially concerning education. Mr. Anusi, do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I said that that thing that the Minister of Education said cannot stand. That thing that the Minister of Education said cannot stand because it doesn't really make sense. There's no way you can, a guy that finished school at 16, and you tell him to wait till 18 before he gets into university. And as I have said on this program, that when you go through JAMB did not talk about age or requirement. There's no age requirement in JAMB. JAMB did not say you must be 18 or 19 before you take our exam. NECO did not say that. NECO did not say that. WAEC did not say that. So, and the Adamu that they talked about, Adamu confessed that the Minister of Education under Buhari, he said that he never knew anything about education until he was appointed a minister. That he never knew anything about education until he was appointed a minister. So how can you function where you don't know anything about? And he took salaries for 8 years. If he's in a civilized country, he has to return those salaries. Understand? If he's in a civilized country, you have to, and even if the man has integrity, he will have rejected it and say, I don't know anything about education, I cannot function here. I cannot function here. But he accepted what he did not know and was there for 8 years, drawing the nation's education backward. If you check the best university in Nigeria, in the world rating now is 1,700 and our own number one. And this new Minister of Education has also started that's on the path. You know, this continuation. Understand me?
Okay. Well, let's take more text. We have more text messages on WhatsApp. Wilfred from Sowore says, as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, take note of the following. Expecting this current government to do the right thing is like expecting Satan to repent. If at this point in time, given all the gibberish that each of the representatives, for example, he said, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Kashim Shettima, Bayo Onanuga, Akpabio, etc., have spilled out from their mouth, you still think and believe that this government will do the right thing, then your head needs to be thoroughly, carefully, and properly examined, and your brain needs to be properly checked, properly evaluated, and re-evaluated properly because you may be suffering from the inability to think properly. Well, this is the opinion of Wilfred from Sowore, not that of the station. All right. Well, Mr. Anosike, this is what he has to say about many of the politicians, the spokesperson of the president, Bayo Onanuga, and even the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio. I mean, this is the opinion of some of our listeners. This is Dave from Festac says, beautiful Kayla and Mr. Anosike, good evening. Can Nigeria allow Christian tickets? Because APC have power. See how they deceive us Muslim tickets. Or do you have anything to say about that, Mr. Anosike?
The Muslim ticket didn't work as they expected because it was a clear deception. It was to capture the North using the words of Ganduje. The Muslim ticket was not for competence, but for election purposes to capture power. And now the chicken has come to roost. Everybody is now suffering. So 2027, let them also do another Muslim ticket.
All right. We've got another one from Kamoro Adeyemi from Satellite Town. Good evening. It's Kamoro Adeyemi from Satellite Town, Lagos. Despite clearing the backlog of foreign exchange debt owed to foreign airlines and other foreign investors by the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian foreign reserve hit a year-to-date high of an estimated $34 billion this year. How can a nation with such healthy reserve be said to be on the verge of economic collapse? Capital inflow into Nigeria increased by 66.27% this year. This is probably with Fitch and S&P Global rating upgraded fivefold in the first quarter of 2024 to 93.37 billion naira from 8.12 billion naira in the same period last year. Well, Kamari knows a lot of business and he's complaining about just our economic downturn. Good evening, Mr. Anosike and dear presenter. I greet you. This set of Nigeria politicians are the last thugs in leadership. New Nigeria is possible. Thank you and God bless you. Tony from Navy Town says, well, do you believe in this statement, Mr. Anosike?
I'm very, very
optimist.
I'm an optimist. Understand me? I know that a new Nigeria is possible when we agree, not if we agree. When we agree, a new Nigeria is possible. But we have to agree first. They say if a chicken wakes up, it becomes an ego. We have to wake up first for a new Nigeria to be possible. So that's why I say when we wake up, when we agree, and not if we agree.
Well, another one from Chris from Okota says, corruption has become a norm in this political dispensation. Culprits are walking head high with great impunity. The system has failed its subject. It's a pity. Speaking of corruption, Mr. Anosike, this administration, well, there's been lots of corruption cases and criminal cases recorded with many politicians and senators under in this political dispensation. Well, what do you have to say about that? And also them just going and, their cases being dismissed or us not hearing anything about it anymore.
Well, it will only be heard if you are from the southeast.
Oh, why do you say so?
Your corruption case can only be heard if you are from the southeast. But if you are from any other part of the country, you are not corrupt. People just want to give you a bad name. In this dispensation, where is Omar Farouk?
Better Edo.
Where is the former Minister of Aviation?
Hadis
Sirika.
Yeah.
Where is the former Attorney General of the Federation? But they have moved fast and confiscated Emefiele's properties because he has an Igbo name. they has put him in prison for how many months? Dehumanize him, embarrass him. Bichi committed worse crime than Emir Fende. Bichi committed worse crime than Emir Fende.
What about Yahya Bello?
Farouk committed worse crime than Emir Fende. Emir Fende was just a victim of circumstance. Understand me? He's guilty under mitigating circumstances because he was obeying the orders of his employer, the president. But he has served as an scapegoat because of he is an Igbo man. So in this government, you are only corrupt if you are an Igbo man. If you are from any other part of the country, no, you are not.
That is the opinion of Mr. Anosike, not that.
And if Yahaya Bello is a governor from the southeast, DSS would have traced him. They would have known how to track his number and get wherever he is, even if he is in a hole. But because of he's not from the southeast, nobody knows where he is.
All right. I'll take more messages on WhatsApp. Federal government should be considerate and answer the doctors and rescue the kidnapped Dr. Popola, because if it happens to be a politician, they would let loose all the security agencies and armory to make sure the person is released, and enough of this reactive way of doing things. They should charge the security agencies to take the war to those criminal hideouts and not wait until they strike. This is Chika Bende from Trade Fair Lagos.
Well, we have a security agency and a government that is not that just reacts to issues. Understand? That just react to issues. You only heard that they have kidnapped. You now hear that we will swing into action. Understand me? We swing into action. We swing into action. In a week, they make more than 20 statements of swinging into action. Just in a week, we swing into action. We swing into action. No country can develop this way. No country can develop this way.
All right. More messages. Good evening, crew. Congratulations for the new CJN Judge Kekereko representing the women fold. However, are these people a good role model worthy of emulating? No. The same judge that made number 4 to number 1, which is Uzodinma, the Imo, I believe she's talking about the Imo governorship election back in 2019. Remember that of Lawan, Akpabio's judgment, also for Oyetola in Osun State, that brought Wike into Rivers, also that brought in this government in federal, and this is the same that wasn't given visa to the US because of the frivolous judgment, and she has also been made the CJN. Same corrupt judges compromised by one man because of political gain. That is why nothing is working. How would there be peace without justice? It's a shame. The worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Dyer from Fagba again.
Well, the APC government is bringing out the worst in women. The APC government is.
Why do you say so, Mr. Anosike?
Omar Farouk, isn't she? Is she a man? Is she a he?
No.
Then the former humanitarian minister, or suspended humanitarian minister,
Better Edu.
It's Better Edu a he. So APC has made us to realize that women are now more corrupt than men.
Oh wow.
Then
why, Mr. Anosike, why are you categorizing a particular political party? Why isn't it about their individuality? Why do you have to?
No, I said it is the APC that is unearthing them. Understand? Now, the CGN that you mentioned, you've seen the antecedents of a CGN.
CGN.
So if you are an investor and you read that somebody with such a profile is the CGN of the country, can you go and invest there? It simply means that you cannot get justice in that country. So this is one of the reasons why investors are not coming into this country. This is one of the reasons why investors are not coming into this country, because they know that there's no transparency in our judicial system. That we have corrupt judges. That what we have in Nigeria is a legal system and never a justice system. So even if I have all the money in the world, I cannot invest in such a country. As I said, PZ, before the end of next year, they will leave this country. Because they are running at their nose, PZ. And you check the number of people that are under their payroll. So what Dayo said is a fact.
All right.
It's a fact. They don't check the profile of the people that they are giving, that they are putting into sensitive positions.
Right. All right. Another message says, "Good evening, VOP FM. My question for the analyst is, did the government get to power through people's vote or by rigging the election? And how is the opposition going to unite and remove them when INEC and judiciary is in their pocket?" Elvis from Idemo. I believe we already discussed this earlier on in the show with you, analyzing what you think the opposition should do to take over the ruling party in 2027.
I said they should start by removing the chaffs in them.
Yes.
Because PDP has a lot of chaff, Wike, Bode, George, and so on and so forth. These are the chaffs in PDP. They must be weeded off before PDP can stand again. Never Party has Arabambi and Namibia Papa and others. So they should do searching, home searching, and know who is who. It's when all these people are taken away that they can now come together and become a force. Understand? If this is not done, it's like putting a cat and dog in the same house.
All right. Another message from our listeners is from Adeyemi Kamoru from Satellite Town, Lagos. Again, says, under PDP, many companies folded up with which are Kaduna Textiles, Iwopin Paper Mills, Jeba Paper Mills, Napa, Oshogbo Steel Rolling Mill, Volkswagen of Nigeria, and 38 million Nigeria lost their jobs under PDP. Well, this is what Kamoru has to say. That
name Kamaru sounds to me like that of a terrorist.
Mr. Anosike, this is one of our listeners.
That name sounds to me like that of a terrorist. That's why I don't always like to respond to his issues.
Okay.
I'm careful.
All right. Good evening, VOP. Bandits are displaying the ransom they collected on TikTok, and our security agencies cannot trace and apprehend them. It is unfortunate. Ralph from Satellite Town.
It is a fact, because they say if we have NCC under Patami,
yes,
they say that the
Mr.
reason,
Pantami.
yes, say that the reason for this NIN and so on is when you have it, that you can easily be traced. Understand me? But now, these people will be discussing with police, will be discussing with those that they kidnapped. Understand? And they will they are not being traced, which means the whole thing that Patami did is a deception. It is a deception, because you should be able to track every call. When Abaribe was arrested by the DSS. That's Enine Abaribe. Enine Abaribe asked them, how did you trace me? They told Enine Abaribe, we tracked your phone.
I mean, Mr. Anisike, recently, what about the investigative journalists that are also Shoyinka and PDOM Nigeria? Well, we've seen these two investigative.
And go back and read what Egbeteku said when he was appointed. That is, and now you're ready to roar. Understand me?
He also spoke this week too.
So,
and you know he's about to retire. Well, he said they're going to deal with every insecurity, every situation in the country.
Talk is cheap. Very, very cheap. Talk is cheap. So, for me, I cannot accept them until after 6 months.
All right.
I cannot accept them until after...
You're giving them a 6 months period.
I'm a very
patient
person.
Nice. That's okay. Well, we've got this from George from AJCT. Says, please, where's Ned Woko and others in the Senate? They allow someone to get to 18 before writing JAM, but below 18 years can marry the politicians. Until we have at least 6 states in the SE to have at least 18 senators, they cannot have a say in the Senate, not with 15 senators. They should be checking names when appointing ministers too. How can they be given a name for education minister as Adamu? Oh, this is opinion of George from AJCT. Okay. We've also got another one from Dio from Fagba says, Nigeria has one of the highest out-of-school children in the world due to insecurities, kidnapping, also due to inflation and increase of school fees caused by this government for 8 months. Is this not intentional to destroy education? Because they believe the more educated you are, the more you will be able to vote rightly and defend yourself. Even protesting, same free education that made them what they are today, but they prefer to breed aguero for voting buy-in and intimidation for elections. Is this government not destroying the little future we have? They have taken the children's bread and given it to the dogs, making the people's lives so hard.
Do you know if this 18 years thing stands, we are going to have more criminals in this country? We are going to, because one, most children are finishing secondary school at 15. Most children are finishing secondary school at 15, and when they finish at 15, you tell them to wait till 18 to take their WAEC JAM. What would they be doing for that 3 years? They will start roaming about. And there's the saying that the devil finds job for the jobless people. So you are going to have millions of youths that have finished secondary school and now waiting for maybe 2-3 years to write WAEC and so on and so forth. So for me, that minister, if he's in a civilized country, for making that statement, they will force him to step outside. But this is a country where you can do anything and you get away with it. But as I said, people are going to go to court to challenge that thing, and it's not going to stand. Because it is not one of the requirements for JAMB, for WAEC, for GCE. JAMB did not state that you must be 18 before you write our exam. It did not say you must be 20 before you write our exam. And even starting it, you cannot start it at the middle. You have to go from the beginning. And the way to go about it from the beginning is that before parents will begin to enroll their children into schools, there must be 6. That is the only way to checkmate it. Going to the root, and not coming, and not from the stem. But these people,
from the foundation,
they are not thinking. The only way to implement this policy, even if it's good, is from the root. make sure there's a starting age. 6 years, you should start primary, which means at 12 you have finished primary. Understand? Which means you finish secondary school at 18. But today there are people who are 14, 15 in SS3, SS2. And you're not telling them that they have that to wait for 3 years. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
What about the part where he said, do you think this is a deliberate act that to stop education or to reduce education and stop the kids from going back to school, especially with the heightened, the hike in school fees and many more?
Well, the minister didn't think deep before making that statement.
Okay.
He didn't think well before making that statement.
All right. Well, the phone line is still open. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903, and the number to send your messages on WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338. I'll take that again, 0817 175 6338. Well, we are yet to get more messages on WhatsApp and also get your calls. It is 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. Welcome back to the recap. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right, well, we can't hear you. Oh, the number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Well, we've got more messages from Chika Bende from Trade Fair Lagos. Says, making 18 years mandatory for students to write WAEC and others is putting the cart before the horse. Stopping a game at the middle can only bring confusion instead of solving it. I think what government ought to have done is to start the policy from the enrollment of the children at the primary level, not to stop already progressing students for a year or years to attain the age of 18. They should not forget the Nigerian employable age limit for the job seekers. So how can you justify it? Let me be careful. Oh, this is what Chika Bende says from Trade Fair.
It's a fact. It's a fact because today you can hardly see somebody at 25 coming as a fresh graduate. You can hardly see somebody at 25 saying, I'm a first graduate. It simply means either that he's not brilliant enough. He wasn't passing. That's why he's still at school till 25. While his mates are graduating at 2021.
20, yes. Okay, well, we have more messages on WhatsApp. This is from Dayo and from Fagba. Well, it says, good evening, crew. The cash and carry Ariwola and Yakubo has been used to put Nigerians in this nightmare. They have been used to put this government into power. They have turned the people to beggars and almajiri in the midst of plenty. They turned Nigeria to a gangster paradise. Also, economic disaster. One man compromised all institutions. Like they said, loyalty for this government is cash and carry. Objection is mortuary. This is what is happening to common Nigerians. You can't protest. They will say it is treasonable. Well, list of bandits, sponsors has been thrown into the sea. How will there be peace without justice? This is what Daya from Fagba says. Speaking of the protesting and saying it's treasonable, this is quite a pattern now, Mr. Anasike. What has happened with human rights and advocating for a fundamental human rights in the country?
Well, as far as I know, as far as international level organization is concerned, as far as UN Charter is concerned, as far as AU, Africa Union Charter is concerned, protest is one of our fundamental human rights. protest is one of our fundamental human rights. There's nowhere in the world that protest is an offense. Even in China, even in Russia, non-democratic nations, you have that freedom to protest. Protest is a form of expression, and we have freedom of expression. So there's no intimidation that will stop Nigerians from protesting, because stopping a protest is like beating a child and telling that baby that crying is an offense. That is what they are trying that to do. That when you beat a child, crying becomes an offense.
Yeah.
So if they don't want protest, they should start doing the right thing. They should start taking care of the welfare and the well-being of the people. If they don't do it, there will continue to be protest. They should start living up to the meaning of the word government. That's the only way to protest. That's the only way that to stop a protest, because people don't protest out of habit. Understand me? Nobody has ever said that my hobby is protest. No, it is when something is going bad, people will say enough of this. So there's no intimidation
whatever
or that will stop people from protesting, because we are free beings. We are free beings. And as they say, to resign to fate is to be crippled fast.
All right. More messages. The pattern of the older ones being president.
It is not wine that you said gets better with age. No. The presidency is a very busy office. You need energy. It's a 24 hours job. No vacation. So Atiku will be 80 by 2027. So telling him to be 8 years in office means being 88 in office. This is not a Cameroon where Paul Biya is the president of Cameroon now, Paul Biya, is contesting at 94.
Yeah.
So that's not the democracy but monarchy. So I will not advise Atiku that to be president till 88.
Okay. Well, this is further from your boss says John Keating, president, can never put his home in order. It is not a curse, but a reality that is staring at us. That is what he had to say. Also, we've got a good evening crew. When you build your government on lies, eye service, propaganda, hypocrisy, you cannot prosper. This is what you get when you have low-grade minds, visionless and lack of capacity, excuse makers in power. It's one controversy. It's like putting an Agbero to run a multinational organization without certificate, no interview. Your result is what is happening to Nigeria. There is where cash and carry, INEC and judiciary has put Nigerians into. Like Obi said, if the foundation that brought you into power is not credible, you cannot be credible. You cannot give what you don't have. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country dire from Fagba once again.
Well, everything boils down to foundation. If the foundation is wrong, every other thing will go wrong. Once the foundation is not right, nothing will come out of that. So that's why it's always good that before you do it, you make sure that you have the right foundation. So assuming we have been having all the right foundation, the country will not be in the mess that it is at this point in time.
All right. We also got messages from YouTube. This is Ola Adewale. Says, why other country leaderships are moving forward, but why is Nigeria's leadership moving backward to failure?
Because we don't have the right one. That's the only answer.
The right leadership.
We don't have the right leadership. That's one thing that God starved this country of.
Okay, we've got more from Okenwa. Okenwa from Ajegunle says, "Hello VOP, it's very disheartening the way tribalism and religion have dealt with us. Just take the hunger protest that was hijacked by government, where the impoverished and the hungry were also still used by the same people impoverishing and killing them, also used to stop the protest. Where some tribe came out at island markets where Igbo tribe is highly populated to threaten them not to protest or risk their shops being burnt. It's a shame they have not learned their lesson." Where is Annie Macaulay, Better Edu, Yahaya Bello, etc.? But this is what Okenwa from Ajigle had to say.
Well, it's a fact, but those that are threatening the Igbos not to protest, well, this is an individual thing. If you feel like going out there to protest, protest does not necessarily mean marching out to the street. You can sit down at home and protest. You can come to work, fold your hand, you will not work, it's a protest. So there are different forms of protest. There are different forms of protest. So protest does not necessarily mean going out that's on the street.
Okay, we're still taking messages on WhatsApp and your phone calls. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. And on WhatsApp to message, it's 0817 175 6338. Yes, that is the number to send us a message on WhatsApp. This is Benjamin Bantu from Alakbara Ketu. I think the statement made by the education minister, if implemented, will have a negative impact on the education of our children. Imagine writing WAEC at 18, spending another 6 to 8 years in the university for a 4 years course due to strikes, going for NYSC for another 1 year. At the end of it, you're expected to be between 26 to 28 years to get a banking job with a minimum of 2 years experience. We need mental emancipation.
Yes, that's the best form of emancipation, mental emancipation. When you are emancipated mentally, you know you are right. You know, and when you know you are right, people won't be pushing you up and down. Understand? Just like this issue of telling us that protest is a treasonable act. It is those that are not mentally emancipated that can agree to such thing. Understand me? For me, I have every right to protest.
Okay. All right. Let's take more messages on WhatsApp. Well, we've got good evening. Oh, my bad. Sorry. We've got good evening, Mr. Anosike and Chioma. Well, this is Kayla, not Chioma. Nigeria's economy status falsified. The government misleads the populace by providing them with false information regarding the actual present state of the economy. Hence, Nigerians are ambivalent when it comes to decision making. The masses, after having taken it upon themselves to ward off insecurity in some part of the country without an iota of backup from the government, they are going to wax stronger in the forthcoming protest unstoppably until the government grants their prayers. This is Chisco from Ijegun.
Well, when bandits came and abducted 150 people in Sokoto, the citizens went into the forest themselves. They didn't wait for police or army. They have that to take this into their hands. Police has failed us, army has failed us. Let us go and rescue our people. So that's exactly what he is saying. And that's when you no longer have trust and confidence in your government. You said, let me begin to do this by myself. Self-help.
Is it the way it's supposed to be? You do recall that last week, Sunday, Christopher Musa, the chief of defense staff, did come out to say Well, to tackle insecurity and security challenges is the responsibility of everybody. So you and them, with us and the security operatives.
What are they doing with my taxes? What are they doing with my taxes? Then I can also keep my tax and use it and buy either a cutlass or a catapult, so that I can also join in fighting insecurity.
And I mean, for the money disbursed in the defense ministry, maybe we should also get.
Well, they should share it among all of us, so that we all should be part of the insecurity fighters,
combating and curbing.
Yes, you cannot be taking all the budget and loan, and now say that the masses should understand. So I keep on saying, the biggest cause of insecurity is good governance. Once there's no good governance, all the fighter jets cannot stop insecurity. So if government want to have security, the only solution is good governance.
Okay. Let's take more messages on WhatsApp. We have Mr. Anosike. Maybe we should do a nationwide contribution, in brackets, Ajo, to fix electricity in the country. Since our leaders have displaced their incapacity to fix it, it is laughable. This is Benjamin Bantu from Alakbere.
Well, if we should do our job to fix electricity, who will be correcting the decision at the end of the month? Understand? So, but in Nigeria, everybody is a government of its own.
Okay.
Everybody is a government of its own, because you are providing what government is supposed to provide for you.
Yek and Jamb, Ili Tracy, Agberism, okay, banditry, Yahoo Boys, no power that has made private companies to jackpot, SMEs shut down, doctors and other professionals too have left in thousands. Is this governance? With this government, blessed are those who do not expect from this government, for they shall not be disappointed. This is also Dio from Fagba once again. Well, we've got one of our listeners saying Dio Fagba will load our WhatsApp today with all the messages. What do you have to say about Dio's message?
Well, he has become another Paul. Paul wrote half of the epistles in the Bible.
All right. Well, it's most of the messages that we've gotten today. Well, Mr. Anosike, you did call one of our listeners, or you referred to him as a terrorist. Please, I just want to put this out there that is not his opinion of the station.
I said that name sounds to me.
Well, to you, but
yes,
that is not how.
That name sounds to me, to Peter Anosike. Understand? I didn't say that it sounds to everybody. I said it sounds to me.
Okay, well, that is not how we feel over here in VOP. Well, if you have a couple more messages you would like to drop concerning discussions and topics of today, you could definitely send a message to our WhatsApp line, which is 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338. We could still take some messages before we call it a wrap on today's show. Hello? 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 Oh, we're trying to take some calls. Unfortunately, we can't hear properly. Or we'll take more messages on WhatsApp. Okay, well, we've still got more messages. This is Adeyemi from Satellite Town. How can you tag a so-called peaceful protest as days of rage, and then you're surprised when there is violence and death? The meaning of rage is violence, uncontrollable anger, looting, vandalism, and destruction of public infrastructures was deliberate. Well, this is what this listener has to say concerning the protest. Well, we'll take more of your messages before we call it a wrap. Well, let's go to YouTube and see if we have some comments on YouTube as well. Okay, this more messages on YouTube says there's no way a country. This is from Madwago and Kemakolam says there's no way a country enmeshed in lies and deceit can make progress, and Nigeria is failing because of a system entrenched in nepotism and bigotry. Mr. Anosike.
Well, it is a fact. There's no way a country will progress if things continue to go the way it is in the country.
All right, let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the recap. Okay, well, we are having some technical glitches. We'll get back to you once we resolve it. Well, we take more messages on WhatsApp. We've got good evening, VOP. Tinubu said, let us slow down the economy, reduce the purchasing power, widen the tax nets. Which of this English you not understand? Well, we didn't get your name. Please indicate your name and your location when next you're sending messages. Well, what do you have to say about that?
For me, people have been making that reference, but I didn't remember seeing it anywhere. I didn't see it.
Okay, so you are not going to speak on that.
I didn't see it, but people have been saying that candidate Tinubu then said that. I didn't see it.
All right. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Oh, well, let's take final messages before we call it a wrap on today's show. We've got this one from Kola from Ayobo. Says, I support Obi, but I think you should actually... Okay. Well, this is concerning the name. Mr. Anosike has clarified that. But this is from Mr. It says, my name is Jovo. Jovo, where are you texting or messaging us from? My Mr. Anosike, kindly explain for me whether a child has to be 18 years before writing WAEC according to the Minister of Education, or can write it before that age and wait till 18 before applying for uni education. So he's trying to get clarification on, do you have to be 18 before writing WAEC, or can you write it before that age and wait until 18 before applying for university education?
I said that WAEC, NECO, UTME did not put any age requirements to write those exams. There's no age requirements for NECO, WAEC, JAMB, and so on and so forth. So it is it is these people that are trying to bring confusion. I have gone through this the guidelines for these exams. No age requirement. So even if you take JAMB at 14, you are not breaking any law.
Okay. We have our final message before we call it a wrap. Quickly, this is saying, there's a message also from Kola saying, sorry, my bad. This is also from Joval. Joval says, there are two people I wouldn't take their comments seriously for now, Doyin Okupe and Chief Body Judge. That is his opinion, and that is what they all have to say. Well, Mr. Anosike has retracted his statement, or he has spoken on the statement.
I didn't retract.
You didn't retract it. You have clarified, and I have stated out there that that's not the opinion of the station.
An idea can come into my head. You cannot find me guilty for an idea that come into my head. Understand me? This is an idea. I said that name sounds to me like that of a terrorist. It's an idea that come into my head. I didn't put it there.
All right, well, that is not the opinion of the station.
I said that came into my head.
All right, Mr. Anosike. Well, thank you very much. Well, that is a wrap on a recap on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Thank you very much, Mr. Anosike, for today's show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, that is where we draw the curtains in today's show. We'll be here next week, same time, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock on Saturday. All right. Bye for now.